Welcome to this look at a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. This is Holmåkra 22. This is a new-ish mod map out. I know I'm a couple of days behind the curve. I've been away, but I was intrigued by this one because this was one of the ones I did my pioneering Let's Play on FS19. So I was curious to see. Now on FS19, this was made by PixelFarm and North Modding Company. This version is PixelFarm and Oscar 8599 or 8599. It's 207.78 megabytes to download. We've got some quite stark changes to this one. We can talk about slot count straight away because on New Farmer, Farm Manager and Start from Scratch it's 619. The same on all three game modes. We start here at the main yard. Unlike the previous version, I'm going to show you the map. The previous version we started down here. Now the previous version of this also had fields down here, so you could start farming straight away. It had livestock, animals, pigs, that kind of things down here. This is all changed. The map is a little bit different, as you can tell by the colours as well, which is pretty cool. It says on the map overview, you'll find the forest has been divided into compartments, depending on their geographical location, stage of growth, and tree species. To make it easier for you and your friends to navigate and find each other, every compartment has been assigned a number. So on the key there to the right, you've got light blue, recently generated. You've got spruce-dominated young, spruce-dominated old, pine-dominated young, pine-dominated old, deciduous forest, and retention areas. It's brilliant. If you're going to do multiplayer and you're going to decide you're going to attack a particular type or whatever it is you're going to do, you can set yourself all sorts of challenges and targets, and I think it's amazing. But as far as the map goes, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put to the right hand side in a moment the previous version to see the changes. So on this version we do start up here at the main machinery store with some equipment. We do have a sleep trigger as well. The map has changed a little bit in that some of the roadways are a little bit different. This one here, for example, swings round. It used to come sort of straight down here. This was an offshoot. That's now kind of the main track, and then it offshoots from there. On the previous version, there was a track you could cut away through kind of here. Like I say, all the farm fields have gone down here, and there was a patch that kind of ran through here that was sort of cleared for power lines, that kind of thing. So it has changed quite a bit. I think for the better. It feels crisper, cleaner. I like the way it's kind of laid out. It's got a nice feel to it. But what it's also got are some additions to this. So the slot count's not too bad. What we're going to do is have a quick whiz around this area where we start. This is your sawmill, which we'll get to in a moment. This, got a fuel point there for buying your fuel. In this building here, we've got our start machinery, which you start with on all three game modes. So we do have a class wheel loader with front forks. There we go. We have got a bucket, we have got log grab, we've got our workshop trigger just here. So this is kind of your main point. Rear trailer with crane. We've got a little Valmet tractor, and we've got a regular trailer for transporting wood chips if you want to do wood chips as well. That's what you start with on all three game modes. Now that's going to be a chainsaw start because you don't start with a harvesting machine, so to speak, or a forwarder. So that's going to be unless you want to go proper just on foot and a chainsaw or a pickup or something like that, you absolutely can. Main machinery store is just here. So your buy point is there, but obviously you've got a workshop trigger just there, so there's not one here at the machinery store. This is the reset point, so if you need to reset anything for any particular reason, it will reset here. You've got a large storage building just over there. Now, as I said, we've got the sawmill. Now, the sawmill, and there's a drying station as well, you have on all three game modes. If we go back to the map, on New Farmer, we start with this plot. On the other two game modes, you don't. But that being said, if we scroll down here to our production chains, the sawmill and the drying station, you do have on all three game modes. And this is where things get a little bit different. And I like that. Our wood boards are our planks. So planks are standard. The sawmill will produce planks. But wood boards 2 and wood boards 3 are something a little bit different. Plus there's a drying station. If you dry these, you get a little bit more money for them. And you can take them to the selling station You can sell them as just boards if you want to. You can sell them as dry boards. You can just sell your lumber. You don't have to do any of this if you don't want to. But what we're going to do is have a quick look at the sawmill. So the sawmill, like I say, you kind of start with it anyway. This is your point for putting your lumber in. Then you click on that. Usual, that's your sell logs. We've got our point here for checking on what's going on. And then we've got our wood chip point here for coming out. I'm going to hand over to a previous MrSealyp who did a little bit of testing on this, and he's going to show you about the planks, the boards, the drying, and then we'll come back and we'll carry on with the map tour. See you in a minute. Thank you, MrSealyp. So, what we're going to be doing is having a quick look. Once the wood has been put into the sawmill and processed, or you start processing it, we will go to this menu here. So you've got wood boards, planks, wood boards 2, wood boards 3. When you process them, we've got wood coming in, then we've got our planks. Now the planks, boards and boards 3 all process at the same speed, but they're the amounts you get in each one are different, which we're going to see in a moment. So where do they actually come out from? Even with the interactive markers on, it doesn't give you a hazard marked kind of area, but they come out here on the rear loading dock. On here, this is where they come out. So your planks will look like normal planks, 1,000 litres, come out as planks pallets. Be careful though, because this one now is trapped. It won't come out of the concrete, because when I came to collect it, as I lifted it, it spawned one of these on top of it and knocked it down into the concrete, and now I can't remove it. I've saved the game, come back in again, hoping it would have popped out of the concrete, but it hasn't. So just be aware of that. It might be I might either want to process one set of boards at a time, or just be quicker than I was at removing the boards. So this is a boards 2, 1,700 litres, 1.9 tonnes. You can see boards across, they're wider, thinner boards, and then boards 3, they're narrower, so you've got more, obviously more boards on there. So that's your boards 3. Again, 1,700 litres, 1.9 tonnes. So your planks, boards 2, boards 3. Now, as far as what you can do with them, now you can sell them. You can just sell the wood if you want to. You can just take the wood down to, I want to say it was Stamnalid, I think it is, down to the Stamnalid sell point, and just sell your wood as it is. If you want to bring it here to the sawmill and process it into planks and boards, you can. You can sell that, and you'll get a price for it. If we go up to our sell point prices, there we go, and we scroll down, we will get to our planks, which at the moment are selling for 2,563. If we keep going to, there we go, we've got boards 2, boards 3. I can sell them at the moment, 2,341, 2,481 for boards 2, boards 3. Or we can dry them. What I will say, I mean, on New Farmer, I've got to check the other two. At the time of recording this, I haven't checked the other two yet. I'm not sure if you own both of these on all 3 game modes yet. But I will do when I get back to the actual, when we're on the full map tool. Does that make sense? But the drying station is just over here. Drying them, if we go to dry boards, the price is better, but not massively so. Not as much as I thought it was going to be. I thought you'd have that process of like that kiln dried sort of lumber. You sell your boards 2 for 2,341 as they are. If I go down to boards 2, 2,600, it's not. I thought it'd be like 4,000, or you'd get a substantial amount more money. Now I know probably in the real world you don't get much more. You will get more because you've dried them, but obviously but you are going to get more. So as far as dry boards go, or drying boards go, once you've got your planks and boards here from where they've been processed from the sawmill, we take them over to this point just here. Again, it's not marked on the ground, but it is just here. We'll grab one. It takes them pretty quickly, and then we can dry them. And what I'll do, I'll speed up time, and we'll see them coming out the other end. I mean, I just wanted to sort of have a look myself, because I was curious about the process, curious about boards 2, boards 3, and dry boards, and what it all meant. So I thought while I was doing the map tour, let's have a bit of a look, shall we? So it takes the boards off pretty quick, 1,700 litres. Just bring them over to here, bottom right. There we go. So I'm going to get all of those put in. I'm going to speed up time, The other end, there is a marked area for where pallets should spawn, so I'm assuming that's where they're going to spawn from the other end. So now I've got some in. If we go back down to our processes there and we go to our drying station, I've got no planks in yet, but I've got some boards 2 and boards 3. So I'm going to set those off. And it's a 1-for-1, you get exactly the same amount out, just dried. So we'll process those. I'm going to put the planks in as well, and I will see you in a bit. And we'll see what we've got at the other end. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to look exactly the same. They're just going to be worth a bit more. So if you weren't sure what it meant, what it does, where the stuff appears, and where you need to put it, that's where you need to put it. And so a bit of time has passed, and this is what they come out looking like. So even the planks that go in as 1,000 litre pallets, because you can just sell your planks, and you can use those for other processes and different things, carpentry and that kind of thing. They come out as dry boards. That's our dry boards 1, which would have been our planks, 1,700 litre, wrapped, ready to go. That's our dry boards 2, again 1,700 litres. What I like as well though, 1,700 litres, but the mass is reduced because they've been dried, so all the moisture's come out of them. That's pretty cool. And then we got our dry boards 3. So they do come out here at this end, so we put them in the other end, that's where we were a minute ago. They come out here, and that's what they look like, ready for shipping, transportation, when they are dry boards. They would then go all the way down to here. We've got our selling station for dry boards, selling station for wood and wood chips. So as I said earlier, if you don't want to do any of these processes with planks or boards or anything like that, you can just take all of your lumber down there rather than bring it up here. But then obviously there's lots of placeable sawmills and stuff you can put around the map if you want to as well. Anyway, so we're going to carry on with the map tour. What a thoroughly interesting man he is, isn't he? How very helpful. Now, it does say on here as well, the map has been prepared for AI on all gravel roads, which means you can have AI run loops delivering wood chips, for example. Now, it may be that wood chips will work, because if you set it to do a loop, it will come here, collect the wood chips, take them to, if you might have other selling stations you put in, but the map one it should do. Those boards that the previous MrSealyp produced, I put them onto a trailer and I tried to set them to go to the sell point, but it wouldn't work. It went out the gate, it did a loop round to the gate the other side and tried to come back into here again. I drove it onto the gravel road, along the gravel road a bit, then tried to set it off and it still did the same thing. So, yeah, I mean, not say take it with a pinch of salt. All I can say is it wouldn't work for me. I couldn't get the boards to sell. Maybe wood chips it'll work perfectly, maybe lumber it will, but I just couldn't get the boards to go. So anyway, back to the map. Prices of plots aren't too bad. If we click on there, so that's 684. We do have some smaller ones, 428, 144,000 for that plot across the middle, 861. So they vary wildly, and it's going to depend on what sort of thing you want to do. If you just want to go for a cheap plot to get started, or whether you're going to look at doing it with friends, in which case you're going to maybe pick which particular type of tree you're going to go for, or I don't know how you want to do it, or you might have your own little empires and you'll pick your own particular ones and see who can make the most money, kind of thing. Now I've already kind of did MrSealyp look at it, the previous one. Down the bottom here we have got the selling station for dry boards and the selling station for wood chips, which we're also going to have a look at. I'm going to be a bit of a cheek here because I want to test something out on here. The AFM Santana pickup was released while I was away as well. Now I haven't done any mod reviews because I've been away, and I doubt I'm going to go back and retrospectively do them, but I want to test out the suspension on here because if I recall correctly on this map, some of the paths were bumpy to say the least. So I think, we'll go out and we'll have a look. I just think already it just feels crisper. I'll see you in a moment when we've got our Land Rover, and we'll go from there. Now obviously this map tour is not about this particular mod, but I wanted to give it a go. Like I say, I'm just curious to see with the sort of ground that we're going to be going over how this fares, but yeah, it will also give us a really good look at the ground. Now, like I say, a few things have changed. On the previous versions you used to exit sort of to the bottom end of there, and there would on the earlier versions, there was a farmhouse there. We do have our farmhouse just to the sides here, but the river is still here and runs along. There's not a crossing point, I don't think. We're going to drive along a little bit further. But you'll see as we go around all the different types, the deciduous and it's brilliant. It's so well done. So we've got our sleep trigger is just there. I did sell all the vehicles just to give it a test. I didn't sell the farmhouse though, I forgot about that. I got it down to 571. You might be able to get a little bit lower. So we've got our farmhouse trigger there, or sleep trigger, and we've got our wardrobe. I'm going to go straight out and up. Yeah, there's been, I think, a previous version over on that section. There was a livestock market. Now there isn't a livestock market, but you can buy directly. So if you do clear areas and you do want to do farming, you can plough areas. It's a proper full-blown pioneering map, this one. There is forestry only, but the ability to do other stuff is incredible. Right, let's check this out. And this is why I love this particular mod, but also because the ground is the way it is, it really gives the suspension a proper run out, and I just think it's brilliant. On other vehicles it doesn't, you don't get as much suspension travel, and it can feel a little bit blocky, is that the best way of putting it? But you'll see straight away the terrain is, it's tricky. Like the previous version was. I'm also curious to go and sort of look around the areas where I did my forestry and my stuff on the previous version. Certain areas on here look a bit more sparse because the type of trees that are there and the growth they're at, other areas aren't. And it really does make a big change. It doesn't just feel like a one blanket area. Not that the previous version was all the same, but you can see that switch between the different tree types. You know, it's a proper full-blown kind of plantation system. Oh, I'm smiling like a child. I'm having a great old time. So, as I said, most of the terrain is going to be very difficult. And what we'll do is we'll head out. I was going to take a turn here. The plot I owned when I started off with was the plot just in that direction that swept down the hill to the road that runs all the way around. If we go back to the map, my previous one, the plot, because the plot's all different now, the plot was here. So I owned this plot and I started right down here on this really steep bit. Brilliant fun. And then I think I built my farm was out here on this section here. I put in a place called Sawmill and I had all this cleared, and I loved it. If you haven't seen that Let's Play, go and watch it. It was one of my favourites. I've done some ones I've really enjoyed, and that was another one. Same with the Western Wilds at the moment. The logging stuff where you kind of pioneer and clear areas, and I really do enjoy that. So we're going to carry along, and like I say, it just feels crisper, cleaner. The rocky outcrops look neater. I don't know. I don't know whether it's just, again, is it just me imagining that, but I think it's got a very, very natural feel to it. So what we are going to do, I mean, realistically, it's a logging map. We haven't got loads of production chains to go around and look at. You can put them in, of course you can. If you start doing anything, you know, there are plenty of mods that require wood chips now, production chains, and planks and boards. There's the carpentry and stuff you could put in. There's no reason at all why when you've cleared some lands you can't then decide you're going to do farming. Of course you can. What we're going to do is swing up here. This is one of the open areas that's been previously logged. Oh, that's steep. It gives you some idea of the scale of it. And look, the nursery here with much smaller trees as well. It's very well done. It's very nicely laid out. I'm going to have a quick look here to see where we are at the moment, because I was going to go down and have a look and see if that strip was still there. It doesn't look like it's showing it. The previous version obviously showed that in more detail. Obviously, with all the farm fields gone now, it has changed quite dramatically. Let's hit that track and turn that way. I'm going to go down past the lake. Oh, we got some there's some helium deer for a moment there. They do pop up a lot on the old map tours, don't they, the helium deer? We'll go that way. I know people are going to ask me, am I going to do another series on it? I seriously, when this popped up, I seriously considered, because I've been away and it popped up while I was away, and I had a look and I thought, oh, I did consider going back and setting it all up like it was done before, but I just haven't got, the mods aren't there that I used previously. And I just think, I know what the time it's taken me to do other things, how much I'd have to clear. Well, the T-Rex 600 came out, didn't it? So I suppose I could do to some degree. But I'm hoping you're just you're getting a feel for the layout and how, you know, how great it is. You know, I really do feel that. I'm going to whiz down here and check out, see if that strip is still there. I did a couple of areas, and then what I'll do, I'll drive back over and we'll go down to the sell points down there just so you can see where they are. And yeah, I mean, in essence, that's the map, but I am curious now. Whoa. Man. This is so different. No, I'm assuming, I'm going to say this, I want to just get this bit of a talk through here. I'm assuming, because of the amount of trees that are on here, the same as it was on the Western Wilds Fraley and Jim's map, you're not going to be able to plant any more. I would imagine there are tens of thousands of trees. There's got to be on here. So if you're looking to plant new ones or put your own in, I'm not sure you're going to get away with it. That being said, it does say they've created all new trees to make the experience more realistic. You'll find custom spruce, pine and birch trees which can all be processed by the game machinery. Okay, I'm at the end, so just trying to think, where would it would kind of run across there, didn't it? I think I might even be past where it originally was. So yeah, I guess it has changed quite a lot, hasn't it? There's some serious amount of logging here, isn't there? Oh no, hang on, what have we got here? It's not quite the same. There are bigger open areas, but it's not. Wow. It's quite stunning, really. Anyway, I'm going to head back over and we'll take in the last two of the sell point. I know you're probably watching thinking, okay, we hasn't shown us very much. It's the, you know, it's the landscape. It's the different sorts of trees. It's, you know, like I said, there's not loads and loads of sell points to show and production change and stuff like that. But I think it has changed. I mean, look at this logging on here, especially in groups and stuff. If you're working with friends, it's going to be incredible. If I can find that track down here. There we go, it's just down here. We'll hoon along that for a minute. So driving on the bottom section, which previously had the farmland, so all the ground that, the fields that were already here ready for you to do. And there are a lot of flat areas here, so you could, there's no reason why at all why you couldn't do the same thing here, or you know, pick any other areas around the map. So we are coming down to, I'm going to say it wrong again, aren't I? I know I am. Stamnared? Is it Stamnared Wood? Anyway, turning up here. But feel free to place sawmills wherever you want, of course. If we come up into here, we have got the sell point for wood and wood chips. So again, if you don't want to use the sawmill that's up at the main point, and you just want to sell lumber, you don't want to create planks or boards or anything like that, you absolutely can. Those are here and here. That was... hang on. Wow. Fancy a light snack. And then as we come round the back here, we have got the... might be inside actually. Yep. The sell point for dry boards, sell station for dry boards in here. So as we saw before, this is how they end up when they're dried, wrapped, bring them in here, sell them to get a slightly inflated price, well, not inflated, just slightly better price, let's put it that way really. So, I mean, kind of showing you where we've been on the map. Well, I've kind of driven all over the place, haven't I? I mean, we started here, and we came up this track, and along this track here, then we kind of cut from here, we went round there, we kind of cut up across here, then over here, and then we've been all over the place, kind of going around having a look. There's more to see, there's more to explore. There's nothing on there that says anything about collectibles or anything like that. I'm glad it's come back. I'm glad it's on FS22. I'm really pleased with what they've done with it. I think it looks brilliant. If you're into your forestry, or you just want to do a real decent pioneer storyline, narrative, let's play, whatever you want to do, this could be the map for you. So that's by PixelFarm and Oscar 8599. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.